Let's talk about something that affects many people, but isn't always easy to discuss openly. Are you in control of your habits, or are your habits controlling you? Today, we'll explore the effects of compulsive behaviors like masturbation and why mastering them could unlock a better version of yourself. Stick around, because what you're about to hear could change your perspective entirely. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more discussions about self-improvement and topics that matter in your daily life. Let's get started. You've probably heard people say that masturbation is normal and harmless. And yes, science confirms that it's a natural behavior, not only in humans, but also in animals. But here's the big question. When does something normal start becoming harmful? Let's break this down. Your brain releases a chemical called dopamine during the act. Dopamine is the feel-good hormone, giving you a sense of reward, relief, or even happiness. But here's the catch. When your brain gets too much dopamine too often, it can start to crave more. Think of it like eating sweets. A candy bar once in a while is fine, but eating 5 every day will make your body demand sugar constantly. Over time, you'll need more and more just to feel satisfied. And just like with sugar, overindulgence in certain habits can have negative consequences. When you overdo it, your brain starts to change. It adapts to all that dopamine by blocking some of the receptors that process it. This means you stop feeling the same pleasure as before, no matter how often you repeat the act. At this stage, people often feel frustrated or trapped, trying to chase a sense of satisfaction that no longer comes. It's like pouring water into a bucket with a hole. It never fills up. This frustration can lead to more extreme behaviors, like compulsively watching explicit material or engaging in risky situations, all in an attempt to feel what you did the first time. Let's pause for a moment. Why should we care about controlling these impulses? It's not just about morality or health, it's about freedom. When you give in to compulsive behaviors, you lose control over your own actions. You become a slave to your desires instead of their master. This is where ancient philosophies like Stoicism come in. The Stoics believe that true happiness comes from self-control and living according to your values. They taught that pleasure is fleeting and chasing it too much only leads to emptiness. Instead, real satisfaction comes from mastering your desires and finding joy in what's simple and meaningful. Epictetus, a famous Stoic philosopher, once said, "It is not events that disturb us, but our interpretation of them." In this context, the act itself isn't the issue. It's our lack of control over it. So how can you break free? Let's look at a few steps. 1. Acknowledge the problem. The first step to change is awareness. If you notice that this habit is interfering with your goals, relationships, or self-esteem, it's time to take a step back. 2. Set boundaries. Limit how often you allow yourself to engage in the behavior. Gradually reduce it if you feel it's excessive. 3. Find healthy alternatives. Whenever you feel the urge, redirect your energy. Exercise, meditate, or dive into a hobby that challenges your mind. These activities release dopamine in a healthier, more sustainable way. 4. Practice mindfulness. When urges arise, don't act on them immediately. Pause, take deep breaths, and try to understand what you're feeling. Is it boredom, stress, loneliness? Address the root cause instead of looking for temporary relief. Let me share a quick story. I once knew someone who struggled deeply with compulsive habits. Every time they gave in, they felt guilty and ashamed. But one day, they decided enough was enough. They started learning about philosophies like Stoicism, practicing self-discipline, and setting clear boundaries. Slowly but surely, they regained control over their life. Today, they are more confident, focused, and at peace because they no longer feel controlled by their impulses. This could be your story too. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Compulsive habits like excessive masturbation might feel good in the moment, but they can leave you feeling empty and disconnected in the long run. The key to overcoming them is self-awareness, discipline, and a commitment to living in alignment with your values. Remember, you're not defined by your mistakes or struggles. What defines you is your ability to rise above them and take control of your life. So start small, stay consistent, and don't give up. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe for more content that empowers and inspires. Let's keep growing together. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.